Hello everyone, my name is Art Russell. Welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to share some information about the law of attraction and the subject of first cause, first and only cause. Now from the perspective of the person, this is going to be quite different from the way we've been accustomed to living our life. Persons habitually link cause and effect to events and persons and conditions in the apparently external world. I'm going to offer some quotes from two books that I hope will help you consider whether there's a better way of manifesting what you desire. So let's get into the content. The first quotes that I'm going to read come from a book entitled Three Magic Words by U.S. Anderson. For anyone who desires to know more about their true nature and also the workings of the law of attraction, I highly recommend it. Here are the quotes related to first cause. There are only two things you can do for yourself. One is conception, so thought, and the other is conviction, basically faith or belief. All the work of creation rests with another than you, your higher self, first cause. Now again, when we believe we're the person, we believe we have to do. That's the position of the prodigal son, unaware of his higher nature. Here's the second quote. You are what you think. You attract what you think. Your life is a product of your thought and belief, and nothing in the world can change this fact. To alter your life, the only single course open is to alter your thinking. Why? Because we're spirit. And the primary activity that we can do is think. And the third quote, there is only one force in the entire universe. It creates all things according to what we conceive, accept, and allow. That allow part is very important. Do we in our heart believe that we deserve the good that we desire? Or are we holding that away by our disbelief? Have we gone through a trying event in the past that caused us to lose faith in ourselves? This is just something I'm asking you to consider. Only you will know. Now, the next quotes are borrowed from The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. Incredible book, incredible content, and it helps that it's thin for those of you who may not enjoy reading. First quote related to first cause. When you know that consciousness is the one and only reality, conceiving itself to be something good, bad, or indifferent, and becoming that which it conceived itself to be, you are free from the tyranny of second causes, free from the belief that there are causes outside of your own mind that can affect your life. the tyranny of second causes, believing that the only way to our success might be to make contact with someone powerful, or that because we assume we were raised on the wrong side of the tracks, that success was impossible for us to achieve. Those kind of beliefs that are sometimes held by persons. This is saying there's one cause only. When you know that consciousness is the one and only reality, conceiving itself to be something good, bad, or indifferent, you are free from the tyranny of second causes. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. Now, once you pick up this thread of understanding from the books, this becomes much easier to implement in our life. When I first read these books, and some of them had accounts of rather magical happenings, I would skim over those, and that's because I was so deeply anchored in the egoic perspective that art had independent existence from the maker, from consciousness, that I thought it was up to me. This is only natural. And we can think we've got to really, really work hard, and I even worked hard at my affirmations. But the affirmations are only to help inspire the feeling of having that which we desire. I'll read the second one again. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. The Master Key system, which I've referred to many times, in its, I believe it's lesson 1, states, if you desire more wealth, get the wealth consciousness. If you desire better health, get the health consciousness. Live these until it becomes an apparent fact in reality. And here's the last quote from The Power of Awareness for today. Live your life in a sublime spirit of confidence and determination. Disregard appearances, conditions, in fact, all evidence of your senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. Now, there's a caveat about this, as this applies to medical conditions. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I am not suggesting to just believe, oh no, my mind is going to make the body better, and that anything that shows up in the apparent conditions during a waking state, such as the need of an ambulance or going to a physician or other healthcare providers, shouldn't be acted on. That might be the bridge of incidents, as it's referred to by Neville Goddard, that leads to the healing. So I'm not suggesting that we just sit on the couch and witness as no action is taken. That's not what I'm suggesting. But I am saying that consciousness is the one and only reality. That is first cause. That's the point in these quotes that I'm sharing today. Now, let's go a little deeper here. So, a point about the placebo effect, and also its opposite, the nocebo effect. Placebo, I'm sure many of you are aware, placebo effect is when someone experiences a healing or an improvement in a condition, and all that's been taken perhaps is a sugar pill. Now, if we really question that, it would be, well, how can this be? That's totally against the materialistic paradigm of reality, and where we attribute the cure or improvement to the object in the apparent world. Placebo effect goes against that. It's clearly our belief in it that leads to the benefits. Nocebo effect works the opposite way, where our belief in something negative, oh, this may happen. We've heard an example, let's say, of someone who's been given a prognosis of having 3 months to live, and their body passes in 3 days or 3 weeks. I would suggest that that patient has accepted that negative belief so thoroughly that the mind has gone on to create the effects that were suggested. So, the methods of suggesting to the subconscious mind what we desire. Well, we can learn from my mistakes or lessons, because I used to apply my affirmations from rigorously from the perspective of the person, still not knowing that my true nature is an aspect of consciousness. When we realize that consciousness is all there is, what else could I be? When we begin with consciousness. So I used to work at the affirmations very, very hard, rigorously, thinking that I could work the system. This is not the best way at all to get the results we desire. Neville Goddard basically told us to think of our subconscious mind as your lover. It had to be wooed. It could not be forced. Now, the best time for wooing that subconscious lover is just before drifting off to sleep at night, or just as the body-mind is arising in the morning. At night, it's referred to as a hypnagogic state, and in the morning as the hypnopompic state. And this is a great time when the subconscious is amenable to suggestion. You might envision a scene that implies that your goal has been achieved, or you might even say affirmations silently or aloud to yourself just as you're drifting off, using I am successful, or I am healthy through and through, or those type of suggestions for whatever goal that you're working to achieve or that you desire to achieve. And we trust that the mind will create the effects that we desire. Now, it's best to be very patient with this, and again, very gentle. Going throughout the day saying, I am successful, I'm successful, I'm successful, just with the conscious mind, which is only about 5%. The subconscious is about 95%. This is not the way. Do this gently, habitually. Some people like to script what their life is like now that they have achieved, not in the future, now. If you really look at this, you will see that now, it's only now that we experience anything. We plan for a future, we may remember a past. Anything is only experienced now. That's literally why We have to claim what we desire now. That's the clear mental blueprint. And before I sign off, I'd like to suggest um, some links that I'm going to attach to the bottom of this video. I've written a blog at thinktwice.me since about 2016. There's many articles there about our true nature and also about the law of attraction. I'm going to attach the links to 3 articles that give you more quotations and valuable information that can help you manifest more of what you desire. The first blog article was entitled Baker's Dozen, Power Quotes from Successful Individuals Over the Years. The second one is entitled Affirming Truth. And the third one is Deliberate Creation 5.5. I hope that this video has offered you some useful information. If you've enjoyed it, I invite you to like, subscribe, and share. And I'm looking forward to talking again with you soon. Bye for now.